Welcome to the first episode of the Beyond the End Zone Living Room Show with your host, Chance Barnes. What up, y'all? Yes, we are here finally. Okay, I know you see a lot in the background. Bama, Patriots, Celtics, Red Sox. Don't worry, this will change or not. This is season 1. We got to try to prepare ourselves for season 2 if we can get a season 2. Nothing's going to be perfect. It's me first time doing this, so I'm trying to find my voice. I'm trying to find my way. This is a way to break into the content creation space. And this is an ideal of mine that I ain't gonna say I had it for a long time. No, this really came along in the summertime. I started mining out a little bit, use a little bit of AI to help filter out systems and stuff like that. So again, we're going to under promise and over deliver. So of course, in every episode, we're gonna look to get better and better. We don't expect to be perfect. We don't expect to be good. We got to upgrade equipment. We got a lot going on in the background and whatnot. Anyway, good peoples. Let me put my shades on right quick. Put my shades on. It's sunny in Foxborough. It's sunny in Patriots Nation. No more rain. No more bad. No more 4-13s and stuff like that. That was just horrendous. Listen, I have a stat here. 16-28 over the last 2-3 seasons. Got some notes. I'm going to talk to the people, fans. We got stats. I can't just give opinions without facts. I got hard data. Our home record was 16-28 at Gillette since 2020. Foxborough used to be, Gillette Stadium used to be a fortress. We all know. We'll get to that. But yes, this is what I think this is going to be a sports show. Yes, I think this is going to transition to something bigger and better or whatnot. We got the faith of a mustard seed. Okay. We asking the Lord for a little. Just give us a little. But we're going to slowly grow. We're going to slowly grow. We're going to slowly build it. We're going to chip away at it. Now, everything's going to be perfect. So I want to talk about this. I want to a couple things and whatnot. Make sure you like, rate, comment, review, and subscribe. We greatly appreciate that. This is ground zero, day zero. After Thanksgiving, no better time to at least start lunch. I am from the Atlanta area. I am a Patriots fan. I've already stated that. Yes, I'm a Bama's fan. Yeah, we're going to get off. We're going to find a way to loop all this in. And you never know what you're going to get on this show as well, man. We might get a little derailed over here, right? We might get a little derailed. We might start bantering about God knows what. But at the same time, we're going to make sure that we tie back to the show. So it's to football do its part. We survive the Belichick divorce part 1. I had to do a part 1 because there will be part 2 because it's heavy, man. It's heavy. It's like I got these shades on, man. I'm celebrating. For real, let's take the shades off for a second. We're going to get down to the brass tacks. Woo! Patriots Nation. Let me stand up. Okay. I got to let out that old man group. Anyway, we are 10-2. Could we have imagined this? If you was playing Madden or whatever, now if you wasting your time playing Madden still, I think since John Madden's there, they got that man rolling over his grave. I got that game the year after he passed away, and I was disappointed. But could I imagine the team being 10-2? No. But I did imagine the team will be better than what the last 2-3 years for Belichick and Gerard Mayo. That's why I say it's going to be a part 2 because it's probably a lot to really get into the whole coaching carousel, the offensive coordinator stuff. I got some notes. We'll dive deep. I don't want to hold you all there because I know y'all got to enjoy y'all post-Thanksgiving shopping, post-Thanksgiving food. I got some Thanksgiving food I need to eat up some more as well. Yes. And the Patriots play Monday night. So this is going to be a weekly show. Right now, it's going to be 1 episode a week. As time go on, we're going to slowly progress. One thing about sports, there's a lot going on. I mean, you can only hold people's attention for so long. We might end up switching things up to give it some flavor, give it some swag, give it an edge, give it a personality. Make sure it's me. You know it's me every time. You never know. I gotta get your T-channel. I need to get Anton up. I get a T-channel. But I'm bearded up right now, so there might be times you're gonna see me bearded up. I have my glasses on, a hat on, whatever. I might keep authentic house and gear on. You never know. But anyway, First things first, I didn't have a problem with what Cam Newton said. I know it's clickbait or whatnot. Drake May is on every graphic. Drake, what the kids say, aura. He has an it factor. He screams, I can quarterback a football team. I'm a winner, a gamer. I'll put it on the line for you. And boy, was he right. Mr. May, along with Mike Vrabel, who rebuilt this culture. Shout out to Mr. Kraft and them to realize it proved to backfire. At the time, it probably made sense. It was probably going to take a lot for them to find another head coach, whatever and all that. I'm glad it didn't take as much time because there's franchises that go through coaches left and right. We kind of have a coach for 2 years and he out. So I look at Vrabel's arrival. Vrabel has arrived at the right place, right time, right moment. So he has definitely rebuilt this culture. And to let you know that he has rebuilt this culture, there is a segment or a series on YouTube most Patriot fans probably know. And even the ones that hate watch, Forrest and Foxborough. I think it's 5 or 6 episodes, documents the arrival of Vrabel, getting the coaching staff together, the free agency process, the draft process, and the rookie mini camp OTA. It gives you a Hard Knocks Foxborough version of it. Something that we haven't got. Yeah, there's been some documentaries of the Patriots the last few years, and I really never watched it or whatever and all that. But this one really it interests you to be a Patriots fan, or why did you become a fan in the first place? Shout out to Brady, shout out to Josh Daniels, Doug Moreau, T. Williams, get better, man. Shout out to everybody. You got the right guys at the right place at the right time. You don't know how this stuff gonna go. There's no crystal ball. You can't hit the simulate button and say, let's be good again. No, we had to suffer. The Patriots had to suffer. Listen, we spent 5 years in Siberia. In the wilderness, it was cold, man. It was cold. I don't know. I'm like I said, live in the Atlanta area. People trying to offer me up Falcon jersey. No, I don't want that. Listen, I am a winner. And I can take my L's, but I'm never going to switch up. We are who we are. I'm never going to switch up. I don't pander. They be asking me, they be like, hey, man, Chaz, you want to go to the tailgate? No. What's the Patriots playing? If the Chiefs and Patriots playing, I might hit it up. But I said, no, I don't do that. Fans here, some be peacocking and all that. We'll touch on Georgia another time. But for Falcon fans, I do have a segment called the ATL angle. And we dive into that. We're going to get into that. We're going to get a little bit of the Falcon flu, okay? The Thanksgiving trauma that is the Atlanta Falcons. Right now, we got to speak about the Patriots. Losing sucks. If you have 8 consecutive bad quarters, eventually you're going to lose your job. Eventually you're going to lose your job. Not everybody always say they got to fire everybody. Okay, eventually you got to hire somebody, but losing is not good. But also losing character, because in the midst of all the losing, guess what? We all had to see the Chiefs win Super Bowls. Now everybody get on them like, oh my God, they been cheating, they this and they that. Listen. Can I say this? This is my show. The Chiefs are the shit. And even with this background and all that, they are the shit. When Andy arrived, the team had some moderate success, but you got fans that have been rooting for them since they won their first Super Bowl. It's just a turn. You got to beat the Chiefs. You got to beat them. You can't wait till the Chiefs. The Chiefs, yeah, are they 6-6? Yes. I don't get sidetracked. Yes. Are they 6-6? Is it something we come in? No. That's why I say, again, if your power rankings are for losers, stats are for losers. I got some notes and stuff like that, but there's also there tests of what Chiefs ain't done anything that the Patriots haven't done. I know we all like, but there will always be a team or teams that will put a stranglehold on the NFL for a little bit. Even for the Patriots, from 2001 to 2019, we had 10 years of it where we did win the Super Bowl, but you still got to beat us. The Chiefs are not having a good season, or at least to their standards. They're not having a good season. But guess what? The Chiefs are not going to go away. They got to retool, they got to rearm, whatever and all. They're not going to go nowhere. They have encountered stiff resistance in their division. And for what it has been since 2019, post Tom and now post Belichick, losers can't tell winners what to do. The Chiefs are winners. Everybody want to talk about the refs. They always have the saying in football, you don't want the refs to decide the game. Don't let the refs dictate the game. And also, there's been plenty of times, and I got some Chiefs fans I can call up right now, and they've played some bad football. You got to beat bad football. It's easy to get caught up when they're putting up 30, 40 points, but they have stretches of bad football. You have to take advantage of the bad football. When Patrick was fumbling the ball, he's turning the ball over. You have to take advantage of that. They get on the Chiefs, they say, oh man, they never had to play. They always been at home in the playoffs. You got to do something to get them not play at Arrowhead and get them on the road, which they did. The year when they went to back, they played Miami at home. And then they took a nice drive. I think they took them a nice little drive to Western New York and beat the Buffalo Bills. It was a tightly contested game. The Bills are the Bills. And then they went down to Charm City, Baltimore. And despite having a whole bunch of chances, whatever and all that, listen, Baltimore couldn't seem to get out their own way, couldn't beat bad football. The Super Bowl went overtime. And you know what's awesome about that Super Bowl that any Chiefs fans would say, and I would say the same thing if I was playing in my rival stadium, is planting the flag in the middle of the stadium. Shout out to the Chiefs. But back to us. Here's the question. Loyal Patriot fans have to ask. What was the cost of this success? The cost of this success was, I would say, very traumatic, very painful, publicized divorce of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. I'm going to let that sit right there for a second. Let's all breathe. It's still fresh. You might say, Trash, how you got over it? I have no choice to get over it. I can't really dwell in it too long, whatever and all that, because it don't have no bearing on my life. Now, it doesn't have no bearings. These two individuals don't have no bearing on my life. What if I pay my rent? What if I put gas in my car? What if I put groceries in my belly or refrigerator? Or why I wash my clothes, wash my ass. Yep, I said it. Brush your teeth. It don't fix the teeth. It don't get the wax out my ears, boogers out my nose. I check my mailbox or take care of my responsibilities as an able-bodied adult. The Patriots don't dictate that. The Belichick and Tom Brady don't dictate that. They keep talking about Belichick and his girlfriend, Jordan. Man, listen, I don't care what Belichick is busting down. I don't care. Same deal with Travis. Like, they make it like I went to Goodwill. I went to Goodwill recently and dropped off some stuff. It was a good time to drop off. I dropped off some old Patriot stuff. I had lost my car in the car accident. That was good, but we'll speak about that another time. The guy was like, hey man, y'all looking good. Everybody started trying to gaslight you and put smoke up your ass. I was just like, yeah, I'm just being modest, whatever and all that. He was like, Travis, Travis and Taylor, I give him like 5 years, whatever and all that. And he was saying something along the lines of, he said, man, like he said, if the Patriots end up winning, I might give my life back over to the Lord, to Jesus. I said, brother, you shouldn't wait till a team win the Super Bowl to do that, okay? That should be separate. You know, who Travis is dating, okay? I don't care. My quarterback, Drake May, is married. Okay, he got married to his woman that he's been knowing since middle school. Trying to be him, but I don't care. Mahomes is married. I don't care. I know there's annoyances, people who follow what these people do, TMZ. I don't care. If it's not affecting the play on the field, I don't care. And so Belichick can do whatever he want to do. I don't follow USC games. Okay, I might here and there if it's something worth looking at, whatever and all that. But I follow what they got. Nick Saban up there. Saban, you see there? Yeah, I like what Saban doing. I love what Saban doing. And I like that. But I don't care. I don't care. If they won a Super Bowl, which I think won 2 of them, I think with Taylor or the second one. I don't know, I have to look at it, but I don't care. Travis is a Hall of Famer. 3-time Super Bowl champion and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I was going to probably go down as arguably one of the greatest tight ends of his generation. So I don't care. But for us, for the Patriots, it was the most successful marriage in sports history. And it ended. And it wasn't no sunset. It wasn't like right off in the sunset. Hey, kumbaya. Hey, man, I love you too, bro. It wasn't that. And us fans, my ESPN, my fantasy football stuff was going off here. We had to suffer, season ticket holders, of course. And we had to suffer the fans. We was there to sort the pieces out. I didn't want to be sorting out nobody's marriage. And then with saying that, this first episode is like a love letter It's a love letter to all the fans that's endured. We had COVID that year. Cam Newton came in. So he did the best he could do. I think everybody was fully sold on Mac, but we went to Mac, Bailey Zappi, losing Josh McDaniels, getting Matt Patricia, Joe Judge, Devontae Parker, going to get Bill O'Brien or whatever. Hold on for a second. Hold on. Can I call you back? I'm recording right now. All right. Bye. Yeah, that's mine. Listen, we're going to keep that in there. You never know who's going to call the show. But anyway, you got to roll with it. You got to roll with it. But anyway, like I was saying, this is for us who stuck around because there's some real troopers that stuck around. And when it seemed to have no identity, didn't have no motion, didn't have no connection, didn't have no culture. That's why I named this episode Football Do Its Part. So we survived. Now, how do we go forward? The best way is to start winning again. Start to gradually start winning, okay? And I think appreciating the winning. Because when it comes around, like when it don't, listen, you don't know. Listen, we can be the Raiders, okay? We can be the Raiders, the Falcons. We can be, there's another, we can be, what's the team that's always finishing? I don't know, be the Titans or whatever and all that. I mean, it's a lot of bad football. So we could be the Cleveland Browns. I'll tell you how things have changed. The Detroit Lions have gotten good. We got about 7 segments. We're going to chronicle the agony, the absurdity, and the unconditional loyalty it took to get here. We ain't gonna hold y'all that long. Like people in the church, like, we're not gonna hold y'all that long. All right. So switch over. Remember, comment, subscribe, rate, and review. Hit the algorithm. I gotta get some better lights. It looks like the sun is setting in my living room. Maybe my light bill. We'll work on the computer timing. So where do we point to? We point to the rise of the kingdom rises, and this is for the Chiefs. This is where we take a look at the painful contrast of from going from winning to being laughable losers. Okay, and I spent a lot of time on this. The Chiefs definitely dominated during our darkest days, and this season as well. They're not where they need to be. I know they had a stat where they was 12-0 in one-score games last year, which was I think is best in NFL history. To their like 1-6, 1-5 in one-score games. They're not doing well in one-score games. But here's the kicker. You do the time, you do the crime. You gotta talk about the crime. It's hard to survive a divorce. It's impossible. You don't know what to do. The very next day, your ex's rivalry is dating the perfect quarterback, winning every trophy, and being crowned the new royal family. To watch the Chiefs win Super Bowls, man, it builds character. It builds immense character. Because every time I root against them, I was like, I don't want them to win. But I was just like, yeah, I did. Did you like when Tom beat them? Yes. I know. But I love when the Chiefs beat the Bills in playoffs. I love it. It's a love-hate thing. When your favorite team is in the Super Bowl, your favorite team is in, whether it's in the finals, whether it's a national championship game, whether it's in the World Series, whatever sport it is, right? You got to expect that if you're watching it at home, not everybody is going to be rooting for your team. Okay? Not everybody's going to be rooting for your team. Also, I used to watch the Patriots from 2016 for 3-4 years. I will go out and like when the special games come on, I will go out and be amongst my Patriot fans. About as much as I can. It's hard, but when they win, you got to give it to them. Because when the Chiefs did, we had to sort through the trash bags. We had the Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi's tenured, dealing with 2 straight 4-13 seasons or whatnot. Oh my goodness, man. The Kansas City Chiefs became the new Patriots. They became more what they are, their kingdom. They really stepped in. I would say the Chiefs stepped in and became the new darling. Now everybody hate them. Now everybody's wishing on their downfall. I always say losers can't tell winners what to do. The Falcons are still losing, and the Raiders are still ass. They've made, how many moves that the Raiders have made? They went from Oakland, Los Angeles. They ain't been back to Los Angeles. They go to Las Vegas. They might end up going back to Oakland before it's all said and done. So since 2019, since Brady left, the Chiefs have been to 5 AFC championship games. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. One of those games they didn't host against the Baltimore Ravens. They won 3 Super Bowls. And it became the gold standard of the league. That doesn't mean you don't have good teams like the Bills, the Ravens, the Cincinnati's. On the NFC side, you got the 49ers, you got the Rams, you got, like I said, Detroit. You got all those other teams. I'm just saying, strictly speaking, just them. The real loyalty test comes in. And it's easy. Listen, it's easy to root for your team when they win it. It's so easy. It's so easy, y'all. It's so easy to root for your team when they're winning. But when they're losing, especially during the 4 years, when the Chiefs are winning, when they're losing, it's hard. You might say, Chaz, did you ever thought about giving up? No. Never. Never. Because guess what? Even in that time span, the Celtics won banner 18. So there was a championship in there. The Red Sox eventually figured it out. They made the postseason this past season. It's like, how do you get through those years? How did I get through those years? I got through those years. How did I get through it? I got through it by just knowing that when it's your time, it's your time. What the Patriots did for 20 years, that inclination of the team, what they did in those 20 years, undeniable. Even what the Chiefs have done in the last several years, undeniable. You can't take it back. It's hard. It's hard to do. And for me, I stuck it out. Because I was just, I thought every season is different. I was like, okay, wait, you get that optimism in the season. We got to do this, make this move. The 2022 offseason, we all know how that went. 2023, we try to overcorrect it. One thing about winning is you will lose coaches, players through free agency. People want what you got to emulate that for their team. You can't clone the people that you lose, but you got to try to like somebody that's similar to what you replace as a coordinator, defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, linebacker coach, whoever. How did we survive? I just stay locked in because there's nothing you can do. I'm not in those rooms. I'm not in those meetings. I'm not in those draft boards. I don't know. You like to think every player you draft, every player you sign is going to work out. But it reminded me that it's a lot harder to really build a consistent winner. I know we all like to spend money in free agency, but we also have to draft well. We've had some bad drafts. This past draft in April was a better draft that the Patriots have had in a long time. And they ain't saying with the Chiefs, they draft well. Do they hit on every draft pick? No, but they hit at key positions they hit on. And you mix in free agent, practice squad, but you got to draft. You got to draft and develop. We didn't do a good job, because you're always rebuilding your team every year. You can't make anybody the highest paid player. You always have defectors. As a fan, keep watching. You tune in. I think for the whole Belichick thing, I think that with that, I think we did the right thing of giving him time. He helped the franchise with 6 Super Bowl championships. It was a playoff appearance he made, so you give him a little grace. But when the 2023 season came and went, I did think that we probably won't see Belichick ever again in coaching the NFL. Now, I thought he'd go to TV, and he did, but he had that coaching itch. It's easy to say his best coaching days were behind him. He didn't arm himself with the best staff. You can see there is a youth shift in the NFL. A lot of the coaches are like 35, 40. For Belichick, it would have probably been very good for him to get younger coordinators or whatever. The Jerome Mayo succession plan, as we analyze it more, I know it's in the past, but it's something that's going to be studied. It has to be studied for a long time. What was the Patriots thinking at that time to make Jerome Mayo the successor and not go true coaching search? It was the first time the Patriots have done a coaching search since 2000. You had stability at the quarterback position as well in 2020. We found that it's very hard to just move on. The NFL got to move on, but it's hard. It's hard to replace, or you lose coordinators and all that, but it's very hard to get that back in a better way. We went from stability to total organizational chaos. It's a loyalty test. We was in the wilderness. I don't want to hold y'all too long. We're going to try to You're just going, I don't know if I answered that question. I don't know if I fully answered that, but I just kept watching. What can I do as a Patriots fan living in Atlanta? What can I do? You might say, root for our team. No, but stick it out. People will say, what y'all think y'all gonna do? I don't know. You gotta keep, because if the team don't do nothing, then the team run the risk of losing support. The Cowboys haven't won in 30 years, and the Cowboys still stay playing primetime football games, whatnot. But you lose out on, hold on for a second. Sorry. 1 second. Hold on. All right, back. All right. Listen, the lights start getting dark over here. I'm like, oh man, let me turn the lights on over here. But you just gotta keep watching. I don't know. I just keep watching. It's out in your hands. If you support the team, they're not gonna cancel the NFL season. They're not gonna move the team to another city or whatever and all that. So you critique the team, but it's nothing you can do about it. Can you critique? We all want the same thing. We want the team to start with it. All right. Woo. Hit y'all with some hard notes right quick. I know listen. Hit y'all with some hard notes. In 2023, the season, they ended 4-13. That was the franchise's worst season in over 30 years. The worst part, they were 16-28 at Gillette Stadium, which used to be a tough place to play. They became a liability, okay? They had liability insurance. It wasn't just a loss, it was a loss. I wrote down my notes. They lost the lack of the offense, lack identity, the quarterback carousel, the coordinator shuffle. Every fan, including me, we felt like we was watching a slow motion car wreck. We had to relearn what it's meant to be a Patriots fan. Generation of fans from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, to some who were old enough to remember the dark days, and some of us, like me, I never had gone through it. I became a fan of the Patriots in 2001. And did I know the Patriots are going to be what they're going to be? No. Because like most fans, if you've been a fan of a team for a long time, whatnot, my fandom grew after 2007, of course. But like most fans, you're like, hey man, my team can just win like one championship. I'll be good. The Red Sox, when they won in 2004, breaking the 86-year curse. It's, hey man, if I win, hey man, the Red Sox win one, I'm cool. I can die happy. We had to learn how to lose. To learn how to win, you got to learn how to lose. And Mike Vrabel said, you got to learn how to beat bad football. You got to overcome bad football. And so you got to stick around. It's a price that comes with that. Most fans do. Some fans don't, because like I said, broadcast, I was like, it don't define my, like, how should I do my everyday life, whatever and all that. But I still felt some kind of pride in me to put my Patriots gear on whenever I can. And it's even better when they're winning. But you got to put the gear on when they're losing as well. You got to put the gear on when they're losing. You got to stick with them. If you can, you got to stick to them. Whew. All right, man. Listen, make sure y'all rate, comment, subscribe, review, hit the like button. This is going to be a longer show. So we're going to try to, okay, we're doing good. I don't think I'm doing too bad. I had to turn the light on, whatever. All right, let's see. We covered the fractured decline, the hardest part, the post-dynasty divorce. It wasn't just a scoreboard. It was emotional toll. Let's see. I don't know what else I have. I said 7 segments. Let's see. We go to the stages of grief. We're going to speed it up. Okay. All right. So let's see. You know what? We'll do it anyway. Okay. All right. So I wrote down here. So this is me. I wrote down. For 20 years, we had our superpower. The guarantee that we could always come back. When Brady left, we lost our sense of untouchable destiny. Suddenly, we was vulnerable. We went through the stages of grief. The first stage was denial. Listen, the anger came. Listen, we were sad. Watching Brady win championships in Tampa while our team was giving up late game leads and getting down big, and we really was a team that when we got down by 14 points, that seemed insurmountable. The emotional bargaining, clinging to the hope that maybe we can rebuild, maybe our rebuild be fast, which I would say 5 years is not bad. Take 5 years. I can't take 25 years. I wrote down things like, you had to defend your team against logic. I had to defend my team. Of course, you have to, but You also got to eat it as well. You got to take the L. I had to take a lot of L's. We're going to transition to the next segment. All right. We call this segment the Sports Dakota Ring. We going to probably change it up because I don't like the sound of that. Whoever came up with this? Who came up with the Sports Dakota Ring? The anchor holes. Listen. All right, man. Nah, man. Whew. I'm going to have to buy a flag. A red flag and a yellow flag. I'm going to buy a challenge flag or coach's challenge and a yellow flag for penalties. Because who named this? You might say, sure, I didn't name this. Charles Barnes may name this. I don't know. But you say you're the CEO, the host and all that. Maybe. I don't know. All right. So we just argued a lot of talking about all the chaos and all that. With all the chaos, with all the commotion, with all the drama, with the drama, you know what you need? You need an anchor to hold it together. Sometimes it may not last, but tough to do. Okay. We're going to talk about a particular position. Okay. So the most valuable player on the field who brings stability to chaos is a center. The center is like a project manager, the anchor of the offensive line. And then the center. The Patriots didn't have a center. Clearly, we didn't have a center for the last, I know Dave Andrews, you get what I'm saying. We didn't have no anchor. We lost the anchor. So the ship sunk. Okay. It sunk. It stunk. So the center, and this is for the folks who don't really watch football like this. So I got to read that. I'm going to have to listen. Bear with me. I'm going to get through this. Okay. I'm summarize this. So it's the center. And so it's essentially the center is the one that snaps the ball to the quarterback. If you see them on the center, they're the one that hype the ball. They make the protection calls, help the quarterback see different things. They identify the blitz. They identify how to move the line and stuff like that. And they touch the ball every play. High pressure, zero personal glory. And so the Patriots was missing a center. Whereas with this show, the center embodies the show's theme, unconditional commitment. Okay? Unconditional commitment. Unconditional. Unwavering support. They endure silent pain of the trenches. You know, when the bombs are going off everywhere, when there's discourse everywhere, you need some folks that's going to some guys that's going to hold it down, hold down the fort until reinforcements come. You know who I think that center is? I think that center is Mike Vrabel. Listen, turn that shit up. Turn it up, man. Listen, he is the center, the stability that Mike Vrabel has prioritized after the divorce. He's been a center. And with that, it allows Drake May to thrive. Okay? It allows him to flourish. I would never devalue that. That's it. That's all the guy. We need to come up with something better than that. Maybe we change the name, but yeah, it fell flat. Anyway, make sure you rate, comment, subscribe, review. We're going to put the email in there. We're going to put the email address at the bottom of the description tab so you can send questions or whatever and all that to the show. This episode 1, I expect to get beat up. I'm going to hate this, but in a good way. I'm going to take some notes as well. So we're going to move to the next segment, the ATL angle. And like I said, I got my notes here, so bear with me. We're almost done. It's Friday. Most smart people would take the day after the holiday off. That's what most smart people would do, okay? So you got else better do. All right. So the ATL angle. So every week, whether it be the Falcons, whether it be the Hawks, whether it be the Braves, just the fans themselves, whatever and all that, we're going to deep dive and get my perspective on the team. I've already shared a little bit of it, but I will give my perspective as a fan that lives here, as a Patriot fan that lives here. And yes, I get all the 2083 stuff. People be breaking down. I need to start support them. This is very triggering, okay? This is probably, people are probably already fell out somewhere. But anyway, so the name of it is the ATL angle, loyalty, because again, this is like a love letter. So loyalty does come with a warning label. John, what do you mean by that, a warning label? Listen, especially for the ladies, that have men that are into their sports. Like I said, they're ones that really decide how their life should be read based off the way their teams are doing. They put tattoos, and I don't have tattoos. I'll pull a Patriots license plate or something like that. Like, I have this on my wall with buy some wristbands. I'm not doing all that. Nope. Finally, we land here at home in Atlanta for our local angle. After a while, we might get some correspondents who, they give me their take. I have a conversation with them. I don't watch Falcons games at all, and I will be objective enough to watch some highlights, but I'm not going to say I'm going to be watching Falcons games at all, more than what the fans, which is vice versa. Which anyway. Whew. All right. I'm asking all Falcon fans, please take a deep breath. Because listen, even as a Patriots fan, as a Celtics fan, as a Red Sox fan, our loyalty, our fandom comes with a warning label. We are who we are. If we rep our teams, we show it out. We might make little disgruntled faces, and that's fine. As long as it's relative to the game itself, I'm okay. Now, if it gets a little out of hand, it gets a little buy out of it. Being a Falcons fan is like waiting at the bus stop where the bus is guaranteed to arrive, but will inevitably crash. Lifting from the curve, the Falcons fandom is a test of endurance. Every year, it's an endurance test. No fan should have to pass year over year. We stay, we hate them, we mock them, but every Sunday, that unconditional loyalty gives us the right to argue about everything in football. Despite rooting for different teams, we debate, we hold court. In the end, I'm not here to win you over as a Patriots fan, and you shouldn't be trying to win you over as a Chiefs fan. A lot of times people be like, no, I don't hate the Patriots, but I respect them. I'm not asking for your respect, your loyalty, okay? Because, hey, man, the results is what it is. The results is what it is. You don't want to have one good season of winning. You want to have seasons of winning. So again, we go down to the final whistle. Make sure you comment, rate, subscribe, review. Get them lights up. I don't know. Should I hit the like button? I don't know. Somewhere around here. But this is part one. This one's going to be a little longer. Part two, we survived a divorce. We survived it. We have endured the pain of the rebuild. We suffered through the Chiefs' dominance. Now, I'm not saying that, again, the Chiefs aren't where they need to be at, but this season still counts. The records are what they are, okay? But I can say this, of course. The Patriots are 10-2. Have opportunity to go 11-2 before the bye. And then we have a big showdown at home against the Bills. It's on CBS. But anyway, so here's the final cliffhanger. Is the reward real? Is this 10-2 foundation built to last? I think there's a question we cannot answer. I don't think I have an answer. I think the way things have gone, sure. But I think we will see over time, not just this season. For a lot of fans, it's everything they can hope for. This season, to them, no matter what this season is for us or is for the Patriots, it's a success. So again, I'm your host, Chaz Barnes, the host of Beyond the Hit Zone Living Room Show. Tune in for part two. We might do part two next week. I don't know. We'll do a little more analyzing. We'll do more things where we're going to talk about the true playoff test. We're going to cover maybe a little bit of college football. Hey, excuse me, you all. When we eventually cover basketball, I'm not the greatest at speaking about basketball, but I will do my very best. I will try to trickle in some stuff as much as I can. Because you never know. We don't know where the show's going to go. And we will talk about a little bit of baseball. But next week, we're going to speak about as the playoff races heat up, Alabama should know where they're going to be at as far as if they're going to be playing in Atlanta or they're going to make the college playoff football as well. So we're going to cover all that. We're going to break all that down, whatever and all that. And we're going to speak about the AFC East, and we're going to speak about how does the New England Patriots stack up to the rest of the heavyweights in the conference and whatnot, and around the league as well. and whether or not Drake May is a true heir to the throne. I think you couldn't pick no better guy to do it. Drake May is at the right place at the right time. Thank you for joining me for the first episode of Beyond the End Zone Living Room Show with your host, Chaz Barnes. Before you go, like, rate, comment, subscribe, and review. And I will put all of my socials in there on the bottom of the description. Leave a 5-star comment. If you find value, great. If not, we'll keep working it. Enjoy the rest of your Thanksgiving weekend. See you next week. Peace out.